And what's going on, everybody?
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up?
What's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Geeking Squad Podcast. Woo!
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
We are on episode Ocho.
The Ocho.
It is the old Ocho. Episode number 8.
Or for our Polish listeners, the Ochum.
Ochum. Gonna get you right up the Ochum. Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy to think that this is episode 8 already because it feels like we just started doing this. But then at the same time,
It's like we've been doing it for a while, too.
yeah, but it's been a minute since we've done this. We had to take a little break for a few weeks.
Yep, unexpected break.
Because do I even need to explain to everybody out there the world? Why have you guys been gone? The world. 2020, the world. Yeah, it's just been kind of crazy. But we are back with episode 8. I am Larry Roberts, one of your hosts. Down the way from me, he's hanging in there, folks, man. He's trying to deal with this fucking year as best as he can, but he's here, and we have none other than
Vito.
All right, the masking tape over here, the duct tape, the one that's she's just wrapping it around all the cracks and leaks and like trying to keep it together. Like, God damn it, you're not gonna die on me now, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that is pretty much how it is.
We have none other than
Megan Guess.
And again, I'm going to explain just for first-time listeners, if there are any of you, this show is all about us talking about basically different kinds of pop culture stuff. It's a mixed bag because we mostly focus on the articles and memes and comments and questions and polls and all sorts of shit that goes on inside the Geeking Squad group on Facebook. And it's not exclusive. You can come join us there. Come check it out. It's open to everybody. We don't do religion and politics and all that silly stuff. There is enough of that on Facebook and online.
Yeah.
No room for it with us.
No. Not that we don't care about those things, but it's an escape to get away from that. So we don't do it there, and we're not going to do it in the podcast. This is all just us being as big a nerds as we possibly can get away with. And so there's a lot to talk about. We got a lot of really cool things that have come up in the last few weeks since
a lot of new people sharing. It's really awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, we really encourage any of you out there to not only come check out the forum and the group and everything, but participate. Comment, share stuff. I mean, we've got some guys that go in there that mostly they just share like funny, relatable memes and stuff about.
I love the memes.
Yeah, Meg loves the memes, so keep up with that. Yeah, and they're always like funny, lighthearted kind of stuff about Star Wars, Star Trek, all sorts of things that we love. Some cool polls, some cool like question things that get people involved. We're going to address some of that in this.
Yes, we are.
So yeah, please definitely go check it out on Facebook. And at the end of the show, I'll mention other links and stuff that are related to us. But in the meantime, we're alive, we're breathing. That's what matters.
Yep.
So it is well enough for us to go ahead and move on to one of our first featured segments of the squad that we affectionately like to call
What's shaking, Bacon?
Love it.
every time. It gets them every time. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite themes we've ever come up with.
Almost made me swallow my cough drop there.
No, don't swallow your cough drop. But yeah, in the What's Shakin' Bacon segment, we like to just talk about what's shaking, basically like what's all the new stuff going on, new tidbits that have been in the news and things that were shared in the groups. So I think probably one of the things we're most excited or whatever you want to call it to talk about are a lot of new trailers.
There's a lot of new trailers coming out. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Movies are coming back.
I was just going to say, and it's such a relief because so much of like what we're focused on this channel and everything is movies. And, I miss us going to the movies, man. Like we didn't do it. It's not like we went every month, but we were going pretty frequently. You know, there was, especially in like 2019 and stuff, there was a lot of really cool stuff we went and saw. We went and saw Avengers and Captain Marvel and Godzilla and all these things. And Terminator was short.
Dr. Sleep.
Dr.
Sleep. Yeah, we went and saw,
Yeah.
there was just so many good movies, you know, on the whole. I think we loved almost all of them. And then there's just been nothing because 2020 being what it is. So yeah, it is giving us a little glimmer of hope to see these things on the horizon. First and foremost, man, let's talk about one of the trailers we just watched, and I'm really curious about, and we already made a pact, like we are going to see.
I don't care what's happening in the world in 2020. We are going. Well, it'll probably be 2021, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I thought
it said 2021.
They were originally talking about it being like around November or something like that, but I guess it's going to depend on.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out, I think, November, December this year, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, everything's up in the air. But whenever it comes out, we're going to go. And what movie is that, Vito?
Dune.
Fuck yeah.
Arrakis. Desert Planet.
That
For all you
looks so
Dune fans
good.
out there. Yeah. Man, because I just like reread the book like a couple months ago and saw the 84 movie and rewatched the 2003 Sci-Fi Channel miniseries. So I'm like all gung-ho about this, dude. I cannot wait. It looks amazing.
Yeah, so if I'm going to do my homework, I better hurry up and get it done. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully I'm going to guess they're only going to focus on the first book because there's no way to fit 7 books into one movie. So
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
see
that's a bit much. That won't do it justice.
yeah, not even. I think they were even talking about doing this movie in 2 parts, but I'm not sure if they're going to do that or not. Because the book is like massive. You can't really do it justice in a 2.5-hour movie. You know.
Well, now here's my question for you. So, you know, like you're the Dune expert, so to speak, here, because you've read it and you're, you know, watched everything. I know some Dune. I've seen the old movie. I don't remember. I think I saw bits of the series, and I've read bits and pieces. I definitely haven't read all the books and stuff, but I've read bits and pieces, and I read things like, you know, go figure, I'm the comic book guy, so I read like the comic book adaptations
yeah.
and things like that. So I know about it. I know stuff about it, but not a ton. Megan knows like
I know
zilch about it. So here's my question, though. I know one of the biggest problems people have had with the other adaptations has been that they're like, oh, I don't like what they did and they cut this out and it's not true to this part of the source material, blah, blah, blah. So do you think Megan is better off going to see the movie as a fresh-faced, you know, noob? Or should she go and try to cram all that stuff in? Like, I don't know. Like,
I would say just go see the movie and don't watch the other stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but you can if you want, but you probably end up being like, oh, I wish they did this. I wish they did that. I don't know if you get as pissed as Larry and I with 11/22/63.
Don't fucking
We're not
bring
going
that.
there.
Do not.
I'm on board with you guys on that now. I've seen it and read the book. But see, I don't know. I'm kind of, okay, now you put that out there. Now I don't know what to do. Because I read Dr. Sleep, and if I didn't read Dr. Sleep, I don't think I would have enjoyed the movie as much, even with all the changes that they did.
Okay.
Well, the movies and the series has its fans, too. There are people that love the 84 movie. But I feel like on the whole, most Dune fans, like ones that are really big fans of the books.
They're
and
like
everything.
the book nerds who are like, it's got to be to the letter or else it's not a movie or whatever.
Well, the book is always better.
Yeah.
Because you can always get more detail in the book. You expect
Sure.
the movie to be cutting stuff out of it.
And there's a really good audio version on Audible where they have like
That's what I'm going to be doing.
multiple
go.
cast members doing the different
Oh,
characters.
really?
Yeah, it's
Well,
cool.
there you go.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
All my driving and stuff. I'm going to listen to it. I haven't listened to an audiobook in a long time.
And it might, because the book is like, it's one of those books, man, you got to like be in a mood to read and you got to like,
Yeah.
you got to read it. There's a lot of like kind of boring parts, quote unquote boring. So I think
Boring depending on your taste. Yeah.
yeah, but I think the audiobook kind of brings it more into life because you got different people talking and keeps you more engaged, I think, you know?
Yeah, I like those kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not overly, I don't know, I guess I'm just not nitpicky enough. I'm not a snob, I guess, the book snob, where it's if they cut things out or change things, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh my God, fuck that thing.
But then meanwhile, I mean, I know a lot of people out there that still don't like the Peter Jackson Rings trilogy. And they say, oh, because this and that. But to me, now I love the Rings book. I mean, the Rings trilogy is outstanding. It's so good. I don't think you could do a better version of it than that. And there's people, even on a smaller level, there's people that hate the Watchmen movie. Some people say it changed too much, and other people said it was too true to the source material. I'm like, well, fuck, man, you know.
There's no pleasing everybody.
Damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? Speaking of comic books and all that, moving on to other trailers, there was a whole slew of DC-related stuff that came out. One of them was the much anticipated and possibly maligned upcoming movie called The Batman, featuring everybody's favorite vampire they love to hate, Robert Pattinson, playing Bruce Wayne and the Bat. Man, I mean, obviously it's just a trailer, so who knows? It could be amazing. It could be dog shit. I'm leaning towards it looking really fucking promising. This, again, it's hard to get a grasp on the story from it, but just the way it seems, you know, the trailer, albeit like you mentioned, Meg, it's dark as fuck.
Yeah, it's really dark.
Really hard to see stuff. So I'm hoping maybe the final product won't be so dark.
They can correct it a little.
Yeah, maybe they kind of made it that way on purpose to leave more mystery, you know, so everybody isn't able to totally pick apart the trailer like we all do nowadays, you know, again, for better or worse.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody that was not on board with Pattinson being Batman are now on board with Pattinson being Batman after this trailer.
Not everybody, but I've seen a lot of people.
I've seen a lot of positive feedback. Like, holy shit. Okay, I'm listening.
Well,
Let's do this.
It just goes to show that's how people are, because they're automatically picturing him as like Edward from
this pale,
Twilight.
pasty kid.
You know, being like this emo, you know, 90s kid looking kind of thing, you know, as Bruce Wayne. I'm like, that's not, he's a better actor than that, man. You know, I like Robert Pattinson. Anyway, that looks really good. Now, the one that I'm particularly curious and excited about, and I know you guys are maybe you seem a little more tentative because you don't know much about it, is the Zack Snyder cut, the extended 3-hour, whatever the fuck it is, cut of Justice League.
I felt like the trailer alone was 3 hours.
Yeah, for real. That dumbass fucking song.
That song is fucking amazing.
I don't know. I kind of thought it was bad too.
I was like, why are you playing this over this scene? I don't get it.
I didn't like the singer.
Yeah.
It's Leonard Cohen.
I didn't like it.
Oh my God. Wow.
It kept distracting me from what I was supposed to be watching. I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be paying attention to what's going on.
It's Hallelujah. I mean, it's a classic. Oh, whatever, man.
I'm not saying I didn't like the song. I just
See, this is what I'm talking about.
when the rest of them came in, I was like, oh, this is nice. So again, I was so focused on the freaking song.
Already, I can tell when we start talking about all our music stuff, it is just going to be a battle. Because we've got music stuff on the horizon we'll fill you in on later. But that is it. They used Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Now, here's the only thing about it. I thought it worked great in this trailer. I guess maybe if you like that song and you know that song and you know the history, it's more impactful. I loved what it was and how it ties in with that. I thought it was weird that Zack Snyder used that because he already used that song to similar effect in the Watchmen movie. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And like, you already know that the Watchmen movie is such a controversial thing with fans. I'm like, so you're automatically going to throw that connection in there too, huh? Like, I'm like, that was ballsy, man. He really likes that tune, apparently. But see, you guys, we should explain, you guys have not seen the original version of Justice League.
No. Yeah, so I don't get why this Zack Snyder guy is a big deal about this movie.
Well, because there's all sorts of, it's too much to get into here. And I think I did talk about this a little bit when we were talking about Batman, but that movie went through all sorts of shit and cuts and recuts and things that had to be changed, and the movie studio, you know, got a new director and a new editor and all this stuff, and they wanted to change the tone of things and all this stuff, and unfortunately it didn't work. It made people really disliked that movie. I did not really dislike that movie. I had some issues with that movie. I definitely saw some of the things people were complaining about, but I didn't think it was garbage like all these other people did. That being said, even though Zack Snyder himself is controversial to a lot of people and people don't necessarily like him, but I do like him. I'm very interested in what he's doing with this. Already just a few things I saw that were changed in this trailer. I mean, it's going to be it's almost, in a lot of ways, it seems and sounds like it's going to almost be like a different movie entirely.
He did Superman Returns, right?
No, that was Superman Returns was what's his face, Bryan Singer, or whatever, the one that did the X-Men movies and everything. No, Zach's done other stuff. I'd have to look it up, but he's been in and out of this universe a few times. But I think that this has more promise. I'm just worried people aren't going to give it a chance because so many of them have already made up their minds, you know. But I'd be real curious for all of you out there. I really would like to hear your input on it. Like if you have any more input on this stuff, because it is such a controversy thing. Another DC movie that I know I'm looking forward to. I know Meg's looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to it.
Is Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
And
that looked really good.
Loved the first Wonder Woman movie. Did you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen like any of those DC movies.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think.
Dude, the Wonder Woman movie is fucking solid.
Yeah.
Super solid.
Really good.
All right.
Really, really good.
Is that the period piece, like 40s?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there are things about the DC movies, unfortunately, you know, that they just continue to fuck up. There's different things. Wonder Woman is one of the very few exceptions. Like everybody pretty much universally said, even a lot of the DC haters were like, I hate DC movies. Wonder Woman was really good. So definitely watch it if you get a chance. It's if you're thinking it's like, it's Wonder Woman, I'm not a big one. It's not. She's awesome. She's a badass.
Yeah,
she's
really good.
Well written. They don't make her, you know, they stay away from.
I wasn't grumbling at it.
Right.
Put it that way.
Okay.
They stay away from a lot of the stereotypes and bullshit that they do with a lot of female characters. You know, they made her really cool and powerful and smart, and it's a good story. It's a lot of great action. And of course, what's the most important part, Megan?
The most important part is Chris Pine is in it. Oh,
oh boy.
so sexy.
Jesus.
Pining for Pine over here.
I sure am. I'm a pine nut, that's for sure.
Oh my God. If we go see that movie in the theater, I'm getting a shirt made for you that
Pine
has
nut.
his face on it and it says Pine Nut.
Oh, you think I'm not going to wear it with pride?
I know you will, and that's why I'm getting it.
Okay. I expect it now.
And then lastly, not too much to really say about this, but staying on with the DC stuff, they did announce, the CW did announce that they are going to extend all of the DC Universe, Arrowverse stuff, they call it, because it kind of is all centric around Arrow, around Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
They did, because they were talking about, I guess, the ones were going to be like canceled and stuff, and a lot of people were upset about that. I have to admit, I've only watched bits and pieces of the Arrowverse stuff. I've watched a little bit of Arrow, a little bit of The Flash, and I've said it before on the show, it's really fucking good. It's really legitimately good. Like the DC TV stuff is awesome. So
now I'm going to have even more to have to
I was
catch
just
up
going to
on?
say, a part of me,
Take more on top of it?
a part of me was hoping it was almost coming to an end so I could go, okay, now I can finally go get caught up on it, but not yet.
Nope.
So anyway, so that's good news. Moving on a little bit. So the next couple of things I think kind of stay a little bit on track with this sort of stuff because we're obviously Star Trek nerds.
Sure are.
Big time. Speaking of Chris Pine and all that business and everything. And speaking of cancellations, there's rumors about CBS All Access might start canceling some of the Star Trek stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do that. It's kind of like their biggest thing on there, isn't it? All their Star Trek stuff.
I feel like it is, but I I'm of two minds. It's like on one hand, I look at all the announcements and I'm like, whoa, okay, you're overloading us.
oversaturating.
You're doing the late 90s, early 2000s thing where you got like 4 Star Trek shows on TV at the same time,
Right.
and now
Yeah.
no one gives a shit about whatever you're doing.
It's too
Right.
much, yeah, and people.
Not to mention the movies and all that other
yes,
shit, too, so.
exactly. So I'm of two minds there. That maybe some things do need to be trimmed back or put on the back burner for now and focused on. I mean, we all know that the main focus should just be that Janeway stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
It should just totally be all.
You got to push the envelope forward, not backward with these timelines.
Where do I cancel my CBS All Access?
Picard, Pike, Kirk, none of those matter. All that matters, Megan, is that we get much, much more Captain Janeway. Because you know you want
Or
it.
Admiral Janeway, that'd be good.
What's the matter? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? That'd be like her nightmare.
Don't you want your Janeway, Megan?
I'm going to go run out in the street if you guys don't stop.
You know how like Richie, like Beep Beep Richie, his thing was he was afraid of the Wolf Man and stuff, and everybody had their different thing that it capitalized on. With you, it would just turn into Captain Janeway and cry
She, like,
you to death.
Crawls under my
Dude,
bed and pops out.
We're totally doing that for some teaser. We're going to totally screen grab Janeway doing some weird look at Megan and then.
Well, there's our Halloween teaser right there.
There you go. But anyway, but you know, but at the same time, one of the things that it seems like it's getting, I've seen some people kind of being like, and then I've seen people like really saying they like it, is that animated Lower Decks series. You didn't feel it at all? I didn't think it was bad.
I wasn't feeling. Yeah, that one, the captain's daughter. I
Yeah.
can't remember what her name was.
Yeah.
She talks so incredibly fast. I don't even know what she's saying half the time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and it's thrown me off.
Yeah. I mean, they did cram a lot into that episode with just so much going on. And I felt like, I get they're trying to be like fast, kind of like a Family Guy or some of these other things where because it's animated, but it was a little much.
It's a lot of much. I keep wanting to try the next, because I only got one episode in. And I was like, oh, okay.
Did they release the whole series or season?
It's
it's
like
episodic.
Picard. It's
Okay.
Yeah,
one
episodic.
week at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was okay. I expected it. I hoped it would be funnier than it is. And it's just sort of like, you know. But they just announced that John Delancey's going to be appearing in it as Q.
Yeah, that would get me to check it out.
That might
again.
be cool. You know, maybe they'll start adding, you know, and he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that great kind of dry humor thing about him. So maybe, and plus with it being animated, they might be able to do some really funny stuff because, I mean, he's this like omnipotent being.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be able to, well, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but once I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, I might have to give this another shot. We'll see.
All I know is the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is I really want to see the Captain Pike.
Yeah, they better not cancel that.
Series.
That looked really good.
That's the one that I'm really, that one, and to me that felt like the most Star Trek-y from what I read and heard about. I'm like, okay, yeah. And that's the thing I've always all my life wanted to know is more stories about Pike's Enterprise and everything.
Yeah.
So lastly on the Star Trek thing, I know they just talked about, you were saying they got some kind of wine coming out.
Yeah, they're gonna have the Klingon blood wine, along with the
Blood
Picard
wine.
Chateau, and there's a couple other wines they got going on, all Star Trek related. So we need to kind of maybe check some of those out.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be a good
I'll have
trivia
to
torture.
Oh,
for
there
us.
you go. Yeah, I'll have to be the one torturing because I can't drink wine. Wine is literally like one of the worst things for me. Like out of all the alcohols, like wine gives me so many problems.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about wine, but it just messes with my insides so bad. You know, straight whiskey, Malort, no problem, but
Ugh.
wine, I can't do.
Lord.
Yeah, we've been down that road.
Yes,
before.
we have been down that road.
But
We ain't
yeah.
doing that again.
But yeah, so if anybody out there gets their hands on and tries any of this Klingon blood wine, make sure you let us know.
Yeah, give us a heads up what we're in for.
Yeah. Speaking of something that people gave us a heads up on, ugh.
Yeah, they were pretty excited for this.
Oh, I'm sure they were. because a bunch of people came to us knowing that in the past, speaking of trivia torture, that we've ventured into things like those awful
Jelly
beans where we tortured ourselves eating those horrible, horrible fucking
I don't know. I didn't think they were that bad.
fuck you. I don't even want to hear it, man.
You faked them not being that bad.
Just so I
sure
would eat
did.
it. She ate these awful flavored jelly beans. It tasted like vomit.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the normal one. It's okay.
And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. So then I ate it, and it was horrible. And then she was like, I was just kidding. I actually got that just because she wanted me to eat. Dude, I swear to God.
I did it twice. It was amazing.
You're a fucking weirdo.
You
That's why.
made me.
I made you.
You sure did. Because you didn't believe me. And so I had to make you believe me.
Yeah.
And you fell for it.
I did
Sucker.
fall for it. This girl's going to get it so bad. You just wait. So maybe we will get our hands on these. They are called zombie Skittles.
Oh, yeah. I guess we got to say what they are.
Yeah. These freaking zombie Skittles that supposedly some of the Skittles in the packages taste like dead zombie meat.
Rotting flesh. Ugh.
Yeah. Vito's already making a face.
Why would you ever make a product like that? That just doesn't. Ugh.
You know why?
People are fucked up. That's why.
2020.
Yeah.
2020.
That is the theme. Why is everything so fucked up? 2020. Last but not least, but since we're talking about jelly beans, there was another little weird thing, but Megan, you seem to have the down low about this.
So I was pretty excited that it was shared. There's Jelly Belly founder is doing one of those treasure hunts I want to do so badly, but you guys keep poo-pooing over because you're lame. But he's doing that, and I think, again, it's like a $50 buy-in. There's something in every state where you go on a treasure hunt and you find it. And if you find it, I think it's like $5,000 or something like that, and you get entered to win the grand prize, which is actual ownership or something like that of the factory, the jelly
I've
bean,
seen this
one of his
movie
jelly
before.
bean factories.
I was just going to
That's
say.
what somebody said. That was their exact comment.
It
Wait
sounds
a
like
minute,
a world of
I've seen this
pure
movie.
imagination.
It sure does. So everybody, I thought it was pretty exciting. It's like, oh heck yeah, I'm doing it again. I just want to do it. I don't care about the treasure. I just want to find it, whatever it is. It'd be
Yeah.
a piece of paper for all I care. But I guess it's being reported. It's not actually Jelly Belly. They tried to come out and say, stop associating us with this. It's not it. And then it said that the factory and stuff like that, it's really just some guy's garage.
Oh my God.
It's like an independent guy.
Here, it's in this trunk.
Yeah, seriously. He's like, here, let me open my coat.
Just say,
Which one would you like here?
yeah, it's in this van.
Yeah.
This
Hop in
white
the back of this van for me, will you?
this white van with a padlock on the back doors. Here's your factory. Here, everybody get into this candy van, and we're going to go drive across 50 states and
Find all these treasures.
Just some sweatshop in China that set this whole thing up.
I'm just going to say,
Export them
yeah,
out of the
it's like, and then this van's going to be loaded onto a boat across the Pacific Ocean. And, yeah, no, what a
So
shame.
I don't really know what's true and what's not true, but these are what I've heard so far about it.
Right. All right. Well, once again, if anybody gets any info on this, let us know. But we'll have to find out.
One day I'll find a treasure hunt to do.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Squad Talk.
All right. And now I think it is about time. It's that time of the show that we get into a little bit of squad talk. If we've had enough talking about Jelly belly. Megan keeps doing this thing on the microphone. I'm like,
Jelly belly.
we need to get away from the jelly belly. It's the best thing to is just step away from the jelly beans, man. So they've made you kooky. But yeah, I thought for Squad Talk, I thought the cool thing to talk about, because there was a couple things that came up lately relating to this. And we've never really touched on it on this show before, is there's been a few things that have come out that have to do with video games and gaming and stuff. First of all, there's a really, really cool, I know we do our recommendations at the end of the show, but kind of as an aside, there's a really cool series on Netflix called High Score, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just finished watching it the other day, and it's fucking fabulous.
It is really fucking good.
And even if you're not like super into gaming, because I'm a casual gamer. I'm not like a big video game person, and I'm an old gamer because I'm old. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know, but it didn't like, I found this really fascinating because it got into like all these different things,
behind the scenes stories, and
and there's a lot of stuff. Now, I'm an Atari guy, as you know. That's my thing, is old games, like old 80s arcade games, 80s Atari and stuff like that for the most part. But that stuff has been talked about a lot. Like, there's been plenty of documentaries and articles and things about Atari stuff, and there's been some about Nintendo and things like that. But what was cool about this series is they didn't get too much into that. Like, they touched on all the things that needed to be touched on, but then they got into all sorts of other cool stories. Like, I didn't know the whole history behind like 3D graphics gaming and stuff. And they started there was a whole thing to talk about Star Fox.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal when SNES came out, dude. They had a special chip just for that game for Super Nintendo to run.
Right. And they get into that. And see, I never knew that. Like, I kind of missed that. I very peripherally like knew about some of that stuff. It got into that. It got into that. What's the game that
Night Trap?
Yeah,
for
Night
Sega
Trap.
CD?
Dude, I'd never heard of this game before, and I watched like the one episode. It wasn't completely about Night Trap, but it talked a lot about it, and it showed a lot of behind the scenes of how it came about and the concept behind it and everything. What the fuck? All I knew is I saw it, and I was like, this has got Vito written all over it.
Yeah, so I was a huge Sega CD fan, like huge, like so huge. And Night Trap, Night Trap is the
Were
game.
You huge?
Yeah, huge. It was huge. Night Trap was basically the game that forced is it CD? Not CDC. Whatever the gaming council is. They pretty much rated games because of Night Trap because they thought it was some kind of pornographic film. Which, if you play the game, super violent. Which it's not. It's like this really goofy game. It's not even a game. I think it was made into a movie and they didn't like finish it, so then they just made it into like an interactive video game. And
kind of. There was more to it than that. Like it was sort of like that, but it got pitched to one big company that it was going to be this sort of like first like video game movie thing, and I forget what company it was. It was like Hasbro or something, or Mattel, or one of those companies, and they were all like into it. And then when they realized what it was, they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't. No, we're not doing this." Like, and it kind of got shelved for a while, and then then they ended up actually going ahead and putting it out. I think when Sega CD came out, I don't know. It was one of those things that just sort of slipped out there, almost like under the radar. But then as people found out about it, it was weird because I guess the guy that created it had, not that he forgot about it, but he just thought like it was history. Like, okay, well, that came out, whatever, and it didn't do that great. But then all of a sudden, when they were going after video games, and I think it wasn't the only game they were going after. They were going after like was it Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, that was huge, dude.
And that was super violent. So, but they needed other things to like bolster it, and then somebody found out about that game. And they were just like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is this? Like, it's sexual and violent and all this stuff." And so the next thing you know, the guy that created it started getting like calls and things, and was like, yeah, you might have to like testify about this. And he was like, what the fuck? And he was like, that piece of shit game? Like, really? Like, anybody's that thing's stupid. Like, who cares? But it turned into this big thing. Yeah, that series is like super fucking cool, and it gets into all sorts of stuff. It gets into the evolution of games. Like, there's a big thing all about Doom, getting into the evolution, how Doom came about. And I mean, think about that, like how important that was to gaming.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, that's
Huge.
the world, the world we live in now. Imagine what it would be like if they hadn't have created Doom, because that
Rise
was
of the
first,
Triad and all those games like that.
that was the first stuff that you would play online on a computer, like interacting with other people. And then the fact that those games were also, it was brilliant that the guys that made Doom also allowed it to be customizable and everything, and was like, hey, create your own stuff, expand on it. And other companies like Atari and Nintendo, they were like,
They
no,
kept that shit to themselves.
don't you dare touch on it. Don't do any kind of expansion pack things on these things. Yeah, it gets into a lot of that stuff. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, I thought it was neat to learn, like the one guy that created, I can't remember what game it was, but he was surprised everybody was so violent and they would do terrible things in it. He's like, I didn't make it to be like that. I don't want you to be like that. So then he created what was like the avatars or something, and they could only win the game if they did good.
Oh,
They had to help
right.
other people, and people, or else nobody would help them.
Right.
I thought that was kind of cool that came from that.
The more role playing stuff, the
Yeah.
early computer game stuff. Yeah, he was realizing that what was happening was people. He didn't like the fact that it was making people, when you would go on quests, and people were going on these quests and they were like robbing other characters in the game, you know, like going into a town, and then they were like robbing village people and stuff to get not the village people, not YMCA, but people in the village.
That'd be funny if they made a game like that. You
It
gotta
would
chase them
be.
down and rob the village people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and you beat so many of them, and then you officially become Macho Man. You know?
Wow.
Anyway, and it could all happen in the Navy.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I know way too much about the village people. But he started realizing that there were too many people that were playing unconscientiously. They were playing without conscience. And he was like, okay, you're supposed to essentially be like a hero, but you're doing all these things that's kind of more like a villain. And so, yeah, he changed it so that people had to had to meet certain criteria in the game and stuff. Like if you went and you robbed people that weren't supposed to be robbed, or if you killed characters that weren't supposed to be killed, you got penalized for it and
Yeah,
stuff.
the people that you needed help from wouldn't help you then.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. It was really, yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff. It gets into Sega, because I was a Sega guy and everything in the 90s, and it got into that and how they developed Sonic and Sonic. I love that fucking cartoon, that meme going around,
yeah.
of that drawing, that bad drawing of Sonic. It looks like it's like an 8-year-old kid drew it, and it says Sonic. It ruined it for me. Like, anytime I think of Sonic the Hedgehog, I just automatically go Sonic. But anyway, yeah, so I really recommend for everybody, and for you, Vito,
I gotta check this
definitely
out now.
watch it.
Yeah,
It's-
it's really good. Yeah, and
Really.
the guy that lost his game and
Oh, yeah.
the internet helped him find it.
Oh yeah,
really?
yeah. There's a guy. He's got, and he's still like trying to get people. Like, yeah, in a move, he lost all the master files for this big game he had created
shit.
and everything, and like wondering if it's out there, like if somebody got it. You'll have to watch it, but
Yeah.
it's interesting. Then there have been like some other things that came up in the forum, ironically at the same time as I was watching this. So you guys have, we're getting into those you can only choose one thing.
Oh boy.
And I've got two things,
Well,
two different.
You can't.
No,
You
no,
can
no,
only
no.
Choose one.
Two ones. Listen to me.
What?
No, because you listen to what I'm explaining to you. First of all,
Wait.
you can only choose. Megan's so impatient. You can only choose one game console, one home game console.
Okay.
That's it. You can. All the others got to go away. You can only choose one. And there's there's been so many. What game console do you choose, Vito? Can you choose?
Sega CD.
Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nintendo 64, but
I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
64, knowing you.
Sega CD, man, because of those full motion video games
Wow.
and the point and click things. So yeah, Sega CD all the way. Gotta go for it.
Damn. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because you are Mr. Point and Click.
I am.
You are.
Dude.
I'm like the nerdiest of nerds, man. And I don't play video games, but when I do, it's the fucking nerdiest shit that you would never play. Probably.
I can't say much when you look at the games that I play. I mean, they're pretty fucking archaic, But I would have thought if somebody would have asked me to bet, I would have said you were going to say 64. So that's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Megan?
I got to go with the original Nintendo.
Not Super Nintendo, just
Nope,
original?
just original Nintendo.
NES, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah,
It's
I just
classic,
love Super Mario Brothers, and that's the one I remember playing the most as a kid and
Yeah.
ripping the controller out of. And
I mean, I don't think I'm going to surprise anybody.
The Atari 1300.
1300, Jesus. When would that have come out? Like 1968? There was no 1300. You cut me in half there, buddy.
Well, because they double the
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah, no.
nice try.
It was 2600 and then the 5200 and then the 7800.
It's like Atari BC.
Yeah.
Atari BC, yeah.
Before controllers.
Before before Commodore. I would, okay, here's the thing. It's a little harder for me. I would have to go with Atari 2600 because that's my shit, and that's what I grew up on. I still play it pretty frequently. But I would have to say Sega Genesis would be a really, really close second, man, because Sega Genesis had some fabulous games. I love all the Sonic games. I love Vector Man.
Vector Man, fuck yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah. Vector Man is a lot of fun.
Steel Empire was my favorite. It's
Never
like
played it.
You
Never played
You
it.
play like a Zeppelin or like a
Yes.
P-50 airplane.
I know what it
it's
is,
so
but I
fun.
never played it. I had other ones. I loved Captain America and the Avengers.
Fuck yeah.
That got hard too.
Yeah.
That was a fun game. Man, so many. I liked other like sillier, just button masher ones. Like I liked WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and all those at the time. Now I know everybody's gonna say, "Dude, they've made such better ones now," and I acknowledge that. But just for me, I love those old games, and I spent a lot of time playing them in the 90s. It was so much fun. So. So here's the thing. I couldn't let go of my precious Atari 2600, but in terms of more quality gameplay, if I was going to get put on like a desert island, so to speak, which I know doesn't make any sense because how would you play a video game system on a desert island? But you know what I mean.
Water power.
If I was...
Wind power.
Yeah, water power. Yeah, I would make it like the professor on Gilligan's Island.
Exactly.
I'd
Make it happen.
I'd fucking work that shit. But I might be tempted to say, well, I'll take a Sega Genesis instead because I think I would get more longer lasting entertainment and stuff out of it. You give me 24 games and a Genesis, and I mean, you got a lot of playability on there. I mean, the Atari 2600, you can beat those games, most of them. Some of them not so much, but most of those you can beat them relatively quick, Yeah. So, yeah, that's a tough one. But anyway, that's a question that goes around. But the one that got put to us in the forum was you can only have one game arcade cabinet in your house, from the arcade. So not a home console. What game would it be? And I think, to be fair, we have to automatically eliminate the multi-game cabinets.
Yeah, because that would just...
It can't be like our buddy Dave Lesko's, like where he was like, dude, just get one like me and it's got like 5,000 games on it, but it's an arcade cabinet. I think that's cheating because that's an obvious answer.
Yeah.
And I think we have to eliminate the arcade one-up cabinets that are out. I love those.
Oh, the mini
we
ones?
want like the ones that our friend
The ones
Feldman
we keep
has.
looking at.
Yeah.
That Mike has that we want so badly, that I really want so badly for us to get down here, but I know it's also a horrible idea because then
we'll never get anything done.
we really won't get anything done unless we just make this show all about putting a camera on us playing video games.
Yeah.
Which, who knows,
You
maybe some people do that and they do quite well. But yeah, I think we'd have to leave out those one-up cabinets because they're multi-game and I could easily cheat, on that. So it's got to be one game. What is it? Anybody?
the Terminator 2 Judgment Day
Jesus
Day
Christ,
gun
we should've
game.
Saw that coming.
Oh, is that the one we saw when we went to C2E2? Was it at C2E2?
It might have been. I know we saw there was a RoboCop one there that I hadn't
Oh
seen
no, it
forever.
was RoboCop. Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't. So I haven't seen the T2 one.
Oh, you never? They had it at. You guys ever been to that Emporium bar and video game place in Lincoln? No. Emporium had it. You've never
Okay.
seen the Terminator gun game, huh?
I don't. I mean, if I have, it's been years, and I don't.
Have you seen the
remember.
Aerosmith one?
Yes.
Okay,
that
it's like
Revolution X.
Yeah. I love that one.
That's
too,
a
but
great
yeah.
game. That's a great game, man. Yeah, that's a really, really cool game. I know Jess likes that game.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
really good. But yeah, I'd have to go with the Terminator one. I mean,
Oh, I want to play that.
dude.
That's if it's like Revolution X, but it's
Yeah.
Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and you go through like the future, then you go back in time, and then it's
Oh,
you
that
got to
sounds
fight the
real
T-1000
good.
at the end with the liquid nitrogen. Dude,
Right.
I'm
Sounds
getting
like a
excited
field
now.
trip. yeah. It's like,
We are,
Can I go now?
dude.
Can I go?
We're long overdue for going to an arcade.
And
I
they
mean,
we
ported
are.
it to the Sega Genesis and Super
Did
Nintendo.
they?
Yeah, but you got to use the D-pad, so it like you know the little target.
yeah,
It's kind of
it's
lame,
not the same.
but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how. Because I've got the Revolution X for Genesis too. And
There you
it's
go.
cool, but it's not the same. Megan, what would it be?
Well, I thought I knew what it was going to be until Vito started talking. And I was like, wait a minute. No, I got to change it now. Because I was going to say Street Fighter.
Ugh.
Oh.
I know why you're saying that. Because you beat my ass at it.
Yeah, I tend to do that. It's really fun. But then I was like, no, I think I'd have to have one of those silly driving games.
Okay, like Cruising USA or something like
Yeah.
that.
Those are so much fun.
Yeah, I always get a kick out of those. So I think I'd have to go with that.
Okay.
I don't care what kind, just any kind of driving game.
Okay.
So I
All
can
right.
drive all over the grass and the sand and
Yeah.
Yeah.
run
those
people
are-
over.
I get too. They're fun, but I get too frustrated at those, man. I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't working. Well, you guys already know from when I played Mario Kart.
Yeah. Clearly.
I'm like literally the worst Mario Kart player on the
Like, how did
planet.
you? There's a wall there. How did you fall off?
Yeah, that's pretty much it too. That's not too far off base. Man, it's really hard for me because again, now that's more my thing is the arcade games and the old arcade games. I don't know. I guess if I really had to choose because it's the one I've spent the most time playing and I enjoy it so much, probably Miss Pac-Man.
Mm.
Just a classic Miss Pac-Man game. Love it. Regular Pac-Man's great too. All the Pac-Mans, but obviously I'm not going to cheat and choose the multiple Pac-Man one.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one, Miss Pac-Man. It's a lot of fun, very challenging. It expands more as you go. The other Pac-Mans are cool too, but they're either too much or too basic. Like,
Did you ever get to that, or is that just the original
kill
Pac-Man?
screen?
Yeah.
That's not Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, is
yeah,
it?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. No, I've never gotten anywhere near that close. But yeah, that's the problem with me. Like, they had that Miss Pac-Man game at Bottom Lounge, the club
really?
in Chicago, and I would end up going out and like concert would be going on in the other room, and I'd end up missing like most of the concert because I'd be like, I just want to go play Miss Pac-Man. Because it was still, they had a 25-cent one. They didn't up
wow.
it to $1 or 50 cents or anything. So I could go in there with like several bucks worth of quarters and play a long time. And I'm decent at it. I'm not great at it, but I'm decent at it. So I could get, at least a good 10 minutes or 12 minutes of play off of one quarter, So yeah, I would probably do that. If I was going to get a video game not a console, but a video game arcade cabinet for down here, and it had to only be one game, it wouldn't be one of those 1-ups or something, I would get that fucking game that we played on the cruise.
House of the Dead?
House of the Dead 4? Is
Yeah.
that it? I would get that for us to play. That would be my choice if we were going to get either that or like Street Fighter versus X-Men.
Yeah, dude. Or was that Marvel vs. Capcom or whatever it's called?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
I would get something.
Fuck, that
like
game's so good too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. It's
Because Megan mentioned Street Fighter. I was like, oh, fuck Street Fighter. But then Killer Instinct, then Primal Rage, and then Mortal Kombat 3. It's like, fuck, dude. How do you choose?
Exactly. But-
you don't.
I know. It's
But yeah, so if I was getting one that was going to be like for all of us to have down here, then it would either be one of the multiplayer like Street Fighter, Capcom kind of thing, Marvel thing, or it would be that House of the Dead, because we would have so much
Yeah.
fun playing that game. Could you picture her playing it? Dude, I think it would be fucking hilarious, because you'd be like, you'd just be going crazy trying to shoot things like fuck with this gun. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And I actually was pretty decent at it.
He was kicking ass.
Yeah.
And we were
Interesting.
so bummed
That's a
because
first.
one
Because
of
there
the-
is like, I don't like these modern games. They're too just
no.
modern. I don't like them. And then he's like, oh, dude, this game's fucking amazing. He's kicking ass. It's like, dude, yeah, exactly.
well,
I
yeah.
do like those shoot games.
And this is a great one, and it's a lot of fun. And then we were so bummed when we went on the cruise this last time, because we've like one of the main things, I'm like, we're going to the arcade and we're playing House of the Dead 4, and we went and it was out of fucking service.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we are not
Lame.
stuck on this fucking boat for a week without House of the Dead 4. We had some other games we had some fun
Yeah, we
with,
had
but
fun.
not the same.
Yeah.
So that would be my vote.
The only shooting game they had was that fucking buck hunt where you got to shoot the deer.
We were like, we're not playing that.
Is that like Duck Hunt where the dog goes,
No, it's like literally like
It's like going
moose
hunting.
and yeah,
It's really
weird.
violent.
Yeah,
And we were just like, this is not what we were looking for.
It's like
Shooting
not,
a zombie.
It's not fun at all.
No.
It's like you're murdering this animal for no reason. You're not even going to eat it either. You're just killing it on screen. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah, not my thing. I know people love that game
Yeah.
too, but not my thing. Shooting zombies, all right, I'm cool with that.
yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it's tough, man. There's just, when there are literally thousands of choices out there, how do you pick one?
What do you suggest?
All right, we are closing in on the end, the finish of the finale, so to speak. It is our segment where we make suggestions to you. What do you suggest is what I like to call it. And just things we think you guys should check out. So Vito, as always, we start with you. What are you suggesting?
This week is going to be a metal album, which I don't
Okay.
think I've done so far.
No.
This would be a 2020 release from Primal Fear, one of the best power thrash metal bands of all time, with their newest album, Metal Commando.
Okay. Did this just come out, or is it
I don't
like
know when it came out. I just know it came out sometime this year.
recently?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Dude, like, I love Primal Fear. They're heavy as fuck, but this album is, like, super heavy. Like, they tuned down pretty low, and
Oh, interesting.
yeah, it's good, dude.
That's different.
Ralph, the singer, like, still has it. He's still got the fucking screams and, like, the attitude, and the riffs are just fucking killer, man.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for, like, Judas Priest, but with, like, some serious balls, Primal Fear's Metal Commando
Wait,
album is the
wait.
way to go.
Wait, what did you just say? Did you just see Judas Priest but with serious
See,
balls?
when you said that, you're like, I'm going to set Larry off. Watch.
Holy fuck. I guarantee you I am not the only person that was set off by that. Judas Priest are the best metal band of all time. I'm putting that out there. They're the best metal band of all time, even just slightly over Iron Maiden. And Iron Maiden is arguably the best metal band of all time. Judas Priest. Even Ralph and Primal Fear are going to back me up on that. I mean, come on. We know those guys are some fucking priest worshipers,
Well,
man.
duh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ralph even tried out for Priest and
He
everything.
did. Yeah, that's right.
Back during the Ripper Owens
Yeah,
era
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. And you know about that, Ripper Owens was he beat out Ralph for that job to replace Rob Halford. And then Ripper Owens, when Halford came back, went on to be in what band, Megan? Do you know?
Iced Earth?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
like that
I
era?
didn't like that
Not
era.
really. Dude, Owens is a badass singer. His solo stuff is real good, but yeah, the Iced Earth stuff,
I liked it. I thought it was
You know.
okay. I thought it was okay, but
He's
Megan.
no Matt Barlow.
I was just
no,
saying, Megan
no
is
one's Matt Barlow.
No
I mean,
one.
Megan is a Matt Barlow fanboy. He's another nut. She can have another
Barlow nut.
Barlow nut. We're just gonna get her
You're a
shirts.
pine nut and a Barlow nut.
Yeah, she likes her Matt Barlow. So I don't blame you. He's. I mean, even what's his face that's singing now. I think he's great.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
Stu.
he was
Stu.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
he's really good, especially on his own stuff and everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there is just something
Yeah,
about
there's something missing there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's-
when it's-
yeah.
yeah.
there's something about Barlow, man. He was just the guy. You know, sometimes
He's the
that
dude.
that magic happens.
He's in my top 3 singers of all time, man.
Oh,
Aren't him and was it Schaefer
yeah, John. Yeah.
doing something together again?
I heard something about that.
They might be, yeah, I think so. I know Schaefer and Hansi.
Yeah,
They're doing
yeah,
the Demons
yeah.
and Wizards thing.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna
Oh,
do
they're
that.
doing
Yeah.
it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Barlow and Schaefer are going to be back.
Yeah, they're up to something.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Megan, what's your plug?
I am going to do something different, and I'm going to plug the entire free channel of Pluto TV.
Right.
They have really upgraded what they have available.
Okay.
And their system, because it used to be super slow and a pain in the ass to do anything in there. And it's so much better now. And they have so many different channels. Like they still got My Leverage. They got a Star Trek channel.
Yeah.
They got tons of true crime.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Game show channels.
Oh,
yeah. There's reality TV.
Yeah, music stuff. All kinds of things.
I mean, they got so many different channels now. It's insane.
They got a channel called Fists of Fury that's just martial arts movies.
shit.
I like that one a
Nice.
lot and everything.
Yeah, so there's live TV that has all that, and then they actually have it all on demand too, so you can watch it from
Nice.
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah, like they have stuff that, exactly. So you can watch just like regular television. It's not regular, but you watch it like regular television where you choose the channels. But then there's another section where I guess like Hulu kind of does some of that a little bit too, and other things do that. But then they have an on-demand section where you can just specifically watch movies anytime you want, just click on it. You don't have to wait for it to be showing at a certain time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's completely free.
And it's free. You can watch it on your laptop. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your TV and stuff.
It boggles my mind.
Isn't that crazy?
They just upload all that stuff for free. I know they make money from advertising.
They have a lot of advertising.
Yeah, there is advertising.
Yeah.
There's plenty of advertising. It's not like watching Amazon Prime or something where you just watch uninterrupted, or Netflix where you watch uninterrupted shows. There's commercial breaks and plenty of them. But it's worth it to be free like that and everything. So yeah, it's really good stuff. You're not going to see like first run movies on there that just came out, 6 months ago. It's not like that. But we don't watch that shit anyway.
Yeah.
We like all the old stuff. And I know there's a lot of stuff on there for you. You need to not watch it though, because
I know
you
man.
will just like.
I discovered Tubi, so I was watching that.
It's a lot like Tubi.
Because they had a lot of like new
It's even
footage
better than Tubi
films
though.
on there and stuff.
Mhm.
So.
Oh yeah. Tubi's got a lot of your stuff on there.
Yeah.
But then that's why
I'm
we don't.
scared about checking it out.
I
so.
know. That's why we don't hear from Vito for weeks. That's a great recommendation. And real quick, last but not least, I would like to recommend, me, I'm a toy guy. I try not to just go toy crazy on here because I will just talk about toys. I have my Geeking Toyetic segment if you want to watch and hear about that. But I just got, like, the other day, these new Funko Pops. Most people out there have seen these silly Funko Pop things and everything. But the ones that they just came out with that I'm just like, man, I love these, is they came out with the classic McDonald Land characters.
Nice.
And those just lend themselves to being Funko Pops. Just the way they look and the nature of them. They really are perfect. And Funko did a great job with these. And I got Ronald McDonald, Grimace, and Mayor McCheese. I still need to get Hamburglar and Officer Big Mac and the Fry Guys. I've never even seen the Fry Guys available anywhere. But I love these figures. So if you're into that kind of stuff and everything, they just came out. They're just now shipping.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jason from Attack of the Killer podcast is a huge Funko collector too.
Oh, that's
so
right. I'll have to
Nice.
make sure I
Yeah.
give him the heads up, because if he doesn't know about Papo Loco, he'd probably dig that place. Yeah. But yeah, with that, I think that's about it. With the last thing we've got is always we like to end on a high note by recommending another podcast, because it's not just all about us, folks. So what podcast do we have to recommend?
We would like to recommend Alexander Silverman and his From the Armchair podcast.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a friend of ours. We've known Alex
We've
personally.
literally hung out with Alex.
Yeah.
in New York and shit.
He's based out on the East Coast. His podcast is out there in the East Coast and everything. We've seen him. He travels a lot. He likes to travel around, and he's quite the journeyman,
Rent some fancy cars to go to a concert.
Yeah, he likes his music, his LARPing, and his fancy cars.
That's
man.
him in a nutshell.
That's him, and he's a geek like us, basically, and he's into a lot of stuff. And he started this really cool podcast where he does these in-depth discussions with people that are involved in gaming and in toy companies and people that are in car enthusiasts, all different kinds of people that he just thinks would be interesting to sit down and talk with. And
Yep.
It's usually him, unlike us, where it's just the three of us nuts on here. Everything he gets guests on his show and everything, and it's really cool. And he's pretty new and everything, so go check him out. Show him some love, and show us some love if you can. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified about things. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place, literally and figuratively.
You can't get away from us.
And we don't want you to get away from us. We really want feedback. We'd love it if you would leave a comment.
Or a review.
I mean, it's so hard to, we appreciate all you guys and gals out there that listen to us and everything, but it's like we're aching for more interaction with you. We'd love to have, good or bad, if you guys are like, oh, you need to shut up about this or make shorter episodes or longer episodes or talk whatever. We really want that feedback, so let us know. And with that, I think that's a wrap on number 8.
That'll do it.
Ochum.
Yep, Ochum. We got a Gochum on Time to Gochum on episode Ochum. So we will be back with episode number 9 very soon. All right. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Jelly belly.
God. Later.